Unconscious, I'm here. Step away from the window and go back to sleep. Safe from pain and truth and choice.
Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and you know I had to do it. I had to come back and talk about Captain America Civil War one more time, but this time in spoiler fashion. I just couldn't wait to make this video and really delve into the nitty-gritty in this movie. Let's jump right into it. Chris Evans as Captain America. I love Captain America, especially after marathoning the Marvel movies and watching his first two movies over again. It's just, I love this character so much. I went into this movie fully on Cap's side, and I thought I was going to stay on that side the whole film, but this movie's so good. The writing is so dense. There's so much to these characters, to the plot, to the situation that these heroes are now in, that I couldn't believe how back and forth I was. Still, though, I understood where Cap's point of view was, why he thought that the heroes needed a choice. They should be given a choice on whether or not they want to be heroes or whether or not they want to save the world. I mean, look how many times they have saved the world. Would that be possible if the government was controlling them or was holding them back or was doing whatever Ross wanted to do with them? And also, a lot of the movie had to do with Cap protecting Bucky. Maybe not everybody might understand why he's so quick to protect Bucky, why he wants to save him, but you gotta look at it as this is like the last person that he knows from the 40s, from his past, from growing up. It's the last person that represents home for him. And he wants to believe that Bucky's still that same kid that he grew up with, that they're still, that they can be that close, that he can trust him. And Sebastian Stan as Bucky, I think Bucky's a fascinating character. I do. Just the whole him being mind-controlled, brainwashed by Hydra for all of those years, and going on those missions to kill people against his will. And the scene where the movie opens up with him on the motorcycle causing that car to crash, I instantly knew that it was Howard Stark. I did, but then they cut away, and I thought, oh, well, maybe not. Maybe it was just a random person. And when they come back to it, and they do show that it's Tony Stark's parents, it's crushing. It's crushing to see Tony Stark's reaction to that and how he feels betrayed mostly by Captain America, who reveals that he knew about this and just didn't tell him. That's what makes, even though the whole conflict is about the Sokovia Accords and the government and what should be done, whose side you on, that's when this movie gets more personal. That's where the story gets more personal. That's what makes the end battle that much more satisfying and intense to watch, because the whole movie I'm sitting there thinking, Cap's gonna die, Cap's gonna die. I was in the theater like, if he dies, I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna cry because that's how much I love this character, but then he didn't die. I thought that maybe he would sacrifice himself for Bucky, or it would be an accidental caused by Iron Man death, but it didn't happen. Thank God it didn't happen, but still, it made for a great fight. I still don't care what anybody says. I love that moment when Cap says, he's my friend, so was I. I love that moment. You get Anthony Mackie as the Falcon, who is Cap's right-hand man. I love that. Even though he has a couple of moments of questioning whether or not this is 100% the right thing to do to Cap, he trusts him. And he says, okay, you know what? If you're going to do this, I'm by your side. And I'm going to believe in you. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. I'm not just going to talk about how hot she is. No, I'm going to talk about how much I enjoyed her in the story. How even though in The Winter Soldier, she was quick to say fuck you to the government, and she even revealed the secrets of her past. That's how much she didn't want anything to do with them. But this movie, she hears about loss of lives and destruction that they may have caused, and she questions herself, and she signs the Accord. She sides with Tony Stark. Definitely a position that you weren't expecting her to be on. But I also love how she gets Cap as well. She's been friends with him for so long, probably besides Hawkeye, the closest person that she's with on the team. And so she feels bad for going against him. The moment where she does turn and help Cap and Bucky, I like that because it shows how conflicted she was. Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, I loved her in this movie. And who went into this movie expecting to get a lot of character stuff with Scarlet Witch. I didn't. A lot of these characters I thought would just be here just for some action scenes, and that's it. But they gave everybody something to do, some more important things to do, like Scarlet Witch. I was not expecting her to be the Nitro of this story, the one who accidentally causes this explosion that kills innocent people and that sets this Civil War story on. I was not expecting that. How she's still dealing with her powers, and some members of the team don't 100%, maybe not trust her, but they don't know if she is fit to be an Avenger, if she can control herself, and how Stark was quick to lock her up in the house. Love that. I love the stuff with the Vision and how he saw the good in her, but he knew that it was still dangerous. I do wish that Vision got more to do. Maybe he's the only character that gets shafted here. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, I again was not expecting a lot out of some of these other characters, but Jeremy Renner was hilarious. He had a lot of great one-liners, just a lot of he's written so well. I feel like even in Age of Ultron, they gave him a lot of funny lines that he didn't really have in the Avengers and whatnot. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, another character that I was like, okay, he'll just be here, whatever, but he was hilarious, Paul Rudd. I love the moment where he's like geeking out over meeting Captain America and the whole group, especially Captain America. And I was not, like, him turning into Giant Man just blew my fucking mind. I didn't think it was going to happen, but once it happened, I'm like, that's when this movie goes full comic book mode, right then and there. I mean, if that airport scene couldn't have been more awesome, you have Giant Man show up, and it just, I felt like a little kid. I felt like a kid who watched these cartoons for so long, saw comic books of Giant Man, and thought, okay, even though we got our Ant-Man movie, we did, and it was great, I just still thought they would never do Giant Man. They wouldn't do it. It's too crazy. It's too out there. They couldn't pull that off, and they fucking do it. Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther. I love that you see what happens to his father, and you instantly feel for the character. You instantly connect with him. You instantly get his motivation for why he's thrown into this plot, because it matters to him, and because it's not even, sure, technically he's on Iron Man's team, but he doesn't give a fuck about the Civil War. He doesn't really care about all of this political stuff going on. He wants revenge for the death of his father, and that's that. He thinks it's Bucky. He's going after him. I love how hell-bent he is. I love it. I love how they treated him, how badass his costume looked, the scenes of him chasing everybody around, and the claws, and I can't get over how much I can't wait for his solo movie as well. You can tell there's a lot of lore and history there, because you get the sense that he's been wearing this costume for a while. This isn't his first time being Black Panther, but he's going to now be the king of Wakanda. So again, interesting stuff. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Clearly I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt because this was amazing. Amazing, amazing. I know we've had 5 Spider-Man movies. I almost can't believe I'm saying that. 5. But this movie felt like I was watching Spider-Man for the first time on screen. And I'm not trying to pretend like I dislike those other movies. I don't. I love a lot of them. I do. But Tom Holland, this was such a fresh take on the character. Maybe it was because he was so young, like actually young. He felt young. He felt like a young kid. He was superhuman. I loved just him in action when you see the suit. I love the way the suit looked, first of all. I can't believe people were bashing the suit when they saw the trailer. I mean, come on, this suit is so comic book. Not just the eyes, but how small the symbol is, how fluid he moves around, like when he's fighting everybody, the scene he has with Bucky, when he reacts to the arm, or when he's just talking trash, and a lot of the superheroes are calling him out on it, like, shut the fuck up. But that's just him. I love when he referenced the Empire Strikes Back movie, but he said it as, oh yeah, do you guys know that old movie, Empire Strikes Back? I've waited my whole life to see Spider-Man in live action interact with Iron Man, Captain America, all of these characters. And I honestly gave up on thinking it was going to happen. I just thought, Sony, they're going to keep on, they're going to hold on to the character, and we're never going to see it. And it sucked. It was just something that I was dealing with. And then the announcement happens. Then the trailer happens. Then we see the fucking movie. He's in it a lot more than I ever thought he was going to be in it. I can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming. We saw the moment in the trailer with them running towards each other. But I loved how they didn't have Spider-Man in that moment in the trailer. Like they must have CGI'd him out or something, because in the movie, in that airport scene, he's there. He's on Team Iron Man, he's in the lineup, and he's in the shot where they're running towards each other, and I was going nuts. I'm like, he's actually more involved in this fight, in this conflict, than I was initially thinking. The fact that Prison 42 was there to hold members of the Avengers, of Team Cap, once they got captured, that's what each cell was for. I wasn't expecting that. I thought maybe supervillains would be there, past villains that we haven't seen, but no, those were for our heroes. I love that none of the heroes died, because that's not what this movie should have been about. It's heroes fighting each other. You don't want to see any of them die. That's too overly dramatic. That's easy drama. And this movie dealt more with watching the Avengers basically disintegrate, dissolve, and watching friendships get destroyed. That's where your emotion came from. That's where the pain came from. I've seen some people complain that they thought this movie was too jokey, like the airport scene had too many jokes in it. But it's like, this plot is so serious, is so heavy. You get the moment where Tony Stark feels bad about this kid dying from Sokovia, and that's where a lot of his motivation comes from. Like, there's a lot of heavy moments in here. If you're going to have that airport scene where a lot of these characters are in one shot for the first time ever, it better be fucking fun. You better make me feel good about seeing Spider-Man and everybody in one scene together. How can you not want it to be fun? How can you not want to laugh? How can you not want to have a fucking good time in a movie like this? They balanced it perfectly, at least in my opinion. Baron Zemo was essentially the main villain, and I came in here not knowing that he was going to be in it. I didn't know. I love that surprise, that slow reveal of why he was orchestrating this and why he was doing what he's doing. Essentially, he was the Lex Luthor of this movie, but he did it better than Lex. Or at least it made more fucking sense why he was doing this than why Lex was doing it in Batman vs. Superman. I'm not going to try to complain and say one's better than the other. Enough people are doing that. I'm just saying that I liked this guy as a villain. I liked his motivation. I understood where he was coming from. He wasn't just flat out evil. I got it. And that's what you want. This movie is so rich, so dense with stories, with character arc, character motivation. You understand where each and every single one of these people are coming from. And they're all heroes. So if they're going to pick a side, you want to know that they think that they're right. And they do. It all makes sense. It's a damn near perfect movie if it's not perfect. It's that fucking good. I don't know where I could rank it in the Marvel movies, whether it's my favorite number one or not. It's hard. I need to see it a few more times before I can say something like that. I still love The Winter Soldier and the first Avengers too much to just be quick about it, but if this isn't number one, this is definitely 2 or 3. It's fucking up there. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Captain America Civil War? A spoiler-filled, let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!